A belief, any belief, Christian belief, belief in the spaghetti monster, whatever you want to believe in, yeah? If you want people to accept it or to accept what you're saying is reasonable, you need reason to support it. This bottle, I can't get this bottle till he gives it to me. He can't give it to him till someone else gives it to him. And if you go back infinitely, I'll never get the bottle.
No. But this is all coming from a very rational perspective, isn't
Obviously.
it?
Do you accept a belief could be true without proof? Without proof.
No.
All right. Watch this. Do you believe do you accept a belief could be true without proof? Yes.
Yes.
Muhammad ﷺ had to be telling the truth, or had to be lying, or had to be deceived, or had to be crazy, or whatever name you couldn't make up for the fifth variable. No, what I said is this. I said, if you don't believe he lied, and you don't believe he was crazy, on whatever his variable is, and you don't believe he was deceived, well then he has to be telling the truth.
Okay. But you can see exactly the same.
And then what happens? And then when you hear the message, that will then put form on the creator.
It's too.
What?
Too well formed.
What do you mean? Oh, it's too well formed.
You could use exactly.
It's locked down, my friend. It's locked down. Are easily fooled their senses, their eyesight, their trick of their hand, and all of this stuff.
But there's one thing out of all the 70 speakers here speaking, and there's only one thing that unites them that they've all got in common. Each speaker thinks they're the only ones who are right.
But you know what? Do you know what? Technically, they're true. I'll tell you why. Because only one of them can be right.
How does that make it true?
No, it doesn't make it.
Each one of them thinks.
No. All right.
I suspect you.
I'll make it. Yes, of course. All right. So I believe I am on the true path, and all of the religions are false. Yeah, I believe that.
Do you?
Yes, of course. Right. And a Christian will believe the same, and a Hindu will believe the same.
In terms of false, you mean that they may have a true origin, but today.
No, the religions themselves are false. Okay. Not necessarily what the source of them were. I'm talking about the doctrinal and the teachings themselves.
What about the analogy of God being at the top of a mountain and different groups of climbers using different routes to go up there?
Okay, I'll explain something. I don't use no hairy-fairy understandings, yeah? I don't use beliefs in the sense of what makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Okay, the reality is this. How do you know about God? Is what God reveals about himself, yeah?
Yeah.
How does God reveal about himself?
Yeah.
He reveals it through his messengers.
Right.
So, or ones who claim to be his messengers, yeah?
Yeah. Can I just briefly ask what you are?
Muslim.
You're a Muslim.
Right.
A Muslim convert?
Yes.
You're English and you become a convert?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, we believe, yeah, that a creator who created everything, yeah? We believe that.
Yeah.
Can't prove it. No. Don't ask me to prove it. We believe it. Yeah. I can give you the reason why I believe it. It's not a problem. And my reasons why I believe it is 100% logical. Can't be touched.
Well, go on then. Tell me.
Oh, do I need to? All right.
You don't have to.
Well, if it'll lock you down in it, I don't mind. Okay.
This question you ask is like it can be expanded. You just need to atomize it and show you.
You understand? Look.
Tell me what you want to tell me.
All right. We believe Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is a messenger of this creator. Yeah? Which means what he brings is from the creator. So I don't need no climbing analogies. Oh, 7 different climbers to the one summit and all that nonsense, yeah?
But it's nonsense to you. It's a bit disrespectful of my perspective on things.
No, I'll tell you why it's not disrespectful, because my information is coming from what I believe is the creator.
Yeah, just as the guy over there who's the born-again Christian is convinced that the Bible is the message of God.
No, but here's the thing, you see. You know what a belief is, isn't it?
Yes.
What?
A belief is a belief is a belief.
No, what is it? What is it?
It's when you have a belief based largely.
You don't know what a belief is, do you? Let me explain to you.
Okay, explain what.
Because you're scrambling in the dark there, man.
Okay.
All right. A belief is I'll explain. First of all, I'll explain what the other words you could use instead of belief in a sentence. So you could say, I believe this to be true. Yeah. You could say, I accept this to be true. Yeah. You could say, I'm convinced this is true. Yeah. You could say, I'm convicted that this is true. You could say, I trust this is true. Yeah. All of these words could be used for the same word, belief. Yeah. Right. If I say to you, I accept it, that indicates to you I've had a proposition. Yeah?
Yeah.
You accept that, yeah? All right. So a belief is the result of a proposition.
Yeah.
Right. A belief doesn't need proof to be accepted as true?
Depends. That depends.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
There are people who are coming from a very scientific perspective.
No.
Need empirical evidence.
No.
They do.
No.
I have a friend who only believes.
All right.
His religion is science.
All right. Okay.
And he only believes in empirical truth. He believes that faith, but by definition.
All right. Am I talking to your friend or am I talking to you?
Talking to me. I tend to.
So let's get. All right, I'll demolish you both at the same time. No worries. All right. Okay. So, a belief can be true, and it doesn't need proof for it to be true. Okay. I'm assuming by your age, no disrespect, I'm assuming your father's died now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe he was your father?
Yeah.
All right. Did you have a DNA test to prove he was your father? But you did believe he was your father?
Yeah.
Without proof?
Well, nobody gave me any evidence.
No. But you believed it? No. That wasn't the question. Listen to the question. You believed it though, didn't you?
Yeah, because I had no evidence to the contrary.
Did you need any proof to believe it?
No.
Right. So you accept the principle then, isn't it? That you can believe something even if you don't have the proof. But you need good, right? Okay. But you need good reason for it.
Yeah.
So if you say to me, if I said to you, do you believe your father's your father? And you say, yeah, I did. I said, did you prove it? And you said, no. Then I could ask you, well, why do you believe it then? Why do you accept that proposition? And then you'll say, well, family testimony, birth certificate, photos, camera. I don't believe my mother was unfaithful. All of these things.
But you mentioned he can prove it through DNA.
What?
You mentioned that he could prove it through DNA.
His dad's dead.
Yeah, but his dad was alive.
He's not though, is he? It's a real situation here. It's not hypothetical.
Oh.
Okay, just relax. All right. So I wasn't being insensitive saying your father was dead.
No,
just stating a fact.
No,
all right. And I'm not saying you're old. I'm not saying you're old either. Right. So once we establish the principle of, so you can't prove your belief is true because you're right. But your reasons will support your belief.
Yeah.
Right. So anyone can come with a belief, and if they have no proof for that belief, they need good reasons for that belief. Yeah.
Yeah.
For not necessarily for it to be true, but for you to be convinced it could be true.
Yeah.
Because look, everyone can believe what they want to believe. Now the question is their belief reasonable or not?
Yeah.
That's what we have to establish.
Yeah.
Because you might not get why I do it, yeah. But if it's reasonable, I've had a debate with an atheist, yeah. And when I explained my belief in a creator, he said to me, "Your belief is 100% logical." He said, "Every single thing you've used to believe in a creator, I cannot touch it."
And he was an atheist.
Yeah, and he was honest.
Wow.
Because why? Because it is. Now, whether you accept it because of that is another story.
Right.
But my principle is establishing the fact that what I'm standing on is reason.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised if he believed that your whole rationale about a creator was logical. I'm surprised he didn't become a convert then.
No, that's only stage one. Okay. You've got another proposition to accept before you can do that. Anyway, and we didn't have much time. He's a young lad, Sebastian from Eton. So he's a young lad. He's still got things to study and such. It is what it is. But the point here is the principle remains the same. A belief, any belief, Christian belief, belief in the spaghetti monster, whatever you want to believe in, yeah? If you want people to accept it or to accept what you're saying is reasonable, you need reason to support it.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to challenge the belief your father was your father, I need to now look into your reasons. Yeah. You're saying your mum, I don't know, your mum looks a bit dodgy. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to challenge it, right? If I can't challenge your reasons, I can't touch your belief.
Right.
You get that?
Yeah.
Right. So now we can extrapolate that to anything. So we'll do it to God now, yeah? To a creator now.
Okay.
All right. So why do I believe in a creator? I can't prove a creator, but I believe a creator exists.
Yeah.
So what are my reasons? Oh, okay. I believe everything that begins to exist requires a cause. I believe that.
Requires a cause.
I believe that.
Right. What about quantum mechanics and quantum stuff?
Everything I know that begins to exist requires a cause. If you want to go to quantum mechanics, can you prove that those the things that you're seeing weren't already there, but you just couldn't see them? No. So forget that pseudo physics or whatever. Let's stick to the reality here. Okay. And this is my belief.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe everything that begins to exist requires a cause.
Okay.
Is that reasonable
To you?
Is it reasonable to you?
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're together so far. Okay. I believe the universe began to exist.
Right.
Are we still together?
Yeah.
All right. So we're still logical, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. I believe the cause of the universe has to be uncaused
Has to be uncaused.
by necessity.
You've lost me now.
Okay, if we believe the universe began to exist,
Yeah.
according to our first principle, it requires a cause.
Yeah.
And that cause has to be uncaused.
Uncaused.
Yes.
You'll have to explain what you mean.
Okay, if the cause of the universe has a cause,
Yeah.
then that cause would require a cause, and that cause would require a cause, and we'd have the problem of infinite regression.
okay.
And we know, because we're here for present today, we have a finite past.
Right.
You can't have an infinite past because you won't have the present.
Why can't you have an infinite?
Oh, okay. This bottle. I can't get this bottle till he gives it to me. He can't give it to him till someone else gives it to him. And if you go back infinitely, I'll never get the bottle.
No. But this is all coming from a very rational perspective, isn't
Obviously.
it? Yeah, okay.
I don't.
Keep going.
Keep going.
There's some way to pounce it. Okay, so I believe, and this is my belief again.
Yeah.
See, I don't believe you can solve the problem of infinite regression.
Right.
I don't believe you can. If you think you can solve it, by all means do so.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think I can solve it with my rational mind.
Hang on. We're finite. Right, carry on. Accepted. We're finite. What's the next part?
No, I didn't say we're finite. I said, I said the cause of the universe has to be uncaused.
Yeah, okay.
Because otherwise it would require cause, it
This is
requires
all
cause.
embedded in
So we'd say the...
Yeah.
Well, of course it is.
Okay.
Because it's rationality, it's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just that ultimately I don't think we can fully make sense of what's going on.
No disrespect. What's your
Only
name?
with the
What's
rational mind.
your name again?
Tony.
Tony, listen. Who cares? Talk about my belief. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
About your belief.
Why don't you say, if you accept it or not, it's whether or not what I believe is logical or not. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Sorry, as if that's it. Well, it's just so sad. So anyway, so I believe the cause of the universe has to be uncaused.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
You kind of agree, or you're a bit...
If you're looking from a rational perspective, which is what you're saying, yes.
Okay.
The rational perspective is not the only perspective.
Okay.
It's yours. So I respect that. Carry on.
All right, keep going. What's the next part of this? Give me the next episode.
You look excited, man.
No. Go on.
We're on tender hooks here.
Okay.
Right, so then I believe, and this is my belief, yeah? So I'm not saying you have to accept it to be true. All right. I believe that this cause of the universe is conscious.
Right.
I believe. Because I believe it caused the universe when it chose to cause the universe. The universe is not a result of its existence.
Right.
Do you understand that?
The universe is not a result.
Yeah, just because this exists, the universe has to exist. I don't believe that.
Right. Okay. All right.
Right? I don't mind if you're shaky on this right now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can be shaky on that, I don't mind. You can be shaky, yeah?
Just wondering where it's all going. Go on, keep going.
Oh, it's going to Islam, my friend. Right. Patience. Yeah. All right. So I believe the cause of the universe has to be all-powerful, more powerful than anything we can imagine, because there's nothing we know of that could have caused the universe.
Right.
Nothing has the power to do so.
Right.
Okay. Therefore, my cause of the universe is conscious and powerful, and I also believe that this cause of the universe requires intelligence.
Right.
Personally.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Your belief.
Yeah. So I believe that everything that we see in the universe, I believe there's something intelligent behind it. It has to be, for me. Is anything I've said so far unreasonable?
It's your reality.
No, I didn't ask that, did I?
It's your belief.
No, I didn't ask that now, did I? Now I've opened the floor to you.
It's reasonable. It's reasonable in a way because what you've said to me so far doesn't involve harming other creatures.
Alhamdulillah.
So that's fair enough.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
If it helps you to function.
No. Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Fantastic.
Didn't say that either. I'm not interested at this point in religion.
Right.
I'm not interested in this point in God.
Yeah.
Or Bibles, or Qurans, or prophets. I've not mentioned nothing about this, have I?
No, okay.
I've remained on an intellectual, logical stance, tangent.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't say that personally that there has to be some great intelligence steering.
Oh, right. So you're saying my belief that the cause of the universe doesn't require intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
I would say that personally, I don't.
What would you base that on?
It doesn't really speak to me.
What would you base that on?
What about the fact that
Evidence.
it's rife with imperfection?
I've not seen any evidence of any great hand.
No. What did we just say? We said the belief is the result of a proposition.
Yeah.
So my belief is the idea that I believe the cause of the universe is intelligent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you said you don't believe that.
No.
Right. Now tell me.
Necessarily.
Yeah, but
I neither believe nor disbelieve.
no.
You know what?
Just take the word
I'll allow it. No, I'll allow it.
It's a generic.
No, I'm going to allow it. I don't mind the shakiness. Right. So for me right now, my belief is an uncaused cause of all that exists that's conscious, intelligent, and powerful.
Okay.
That's my belief. That's proposition number one. Proposition number two is that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, alhamdulillah, claims to be a messenger of this creator. Right?
Yeah.
Now he's made this claim. If he is a messenger of this creator, then that means the creator is as we've defined it. And forget your whims and, I don't need it, this needs intelligence and all this stuff, because the messengers told, the creator's told you that's the status quo. Yeah? If he is.
Again?
Okay. If Muhammad is a messenger of this creator, and he's told, and this creator has told Muhammad his nature, it doesn't matter what you think his nature is. And if Muhammad ﷺ is the messenger, that means the creator does exist. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Right. So proposition one is the creator. Proposition two is what? Muhammad's claim.
Yeah.
So all this now is based on the claim of Muhammad ﷺ, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. You accept the concept of the absolute truth about the moon landing. When I give it, So
we did land.
No. The claim is man landed on the moon. The reality is they did or they didn't. Yeah. All right. That's one of them is the absolute reality. One of them is not. All right.
Okay.
So if Muhammad ﷺ claims to be a messenger of this creator, what are our variables? He lied.
Yeah.
He was crazy.
Yeah.
He was deceived.
Yeah.
Or he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Is there any more?
Okay. No, I can't think of any more.
Come on.
No.
Right. So if I could show you he didn't lie and wasn't crazy and wasn't deceived, then you have to accept he was a messenger of God.
Yeah. Show me.
Yeah, define messenger of God though.
Okay. A man sent revelation from the Creator.
But you can't prove to me that he wasn't mad or deceived or lied.
All right. So right now, your claim is this: he lied, he was crazy or deceived.
No, it's not my claim.
There has to be. Has to be by default.
I'm saying it's possible.
No, it has to be by default.
It's possible.
Do you believe he's a messenger of God?
Yeah, but he could genuinely believe.
So you believed he lied? He was crazy?
I don't know.
No. It isn't subjective.
I wasn't alive at the time.
I wasn't alive at the moon landing. It still happened. You understand?
There's more evidence for the moon landing.
No, but it's the principle.
Evidence that Muhammad was the messenger.
No. Okay, listen to me again. The principle of the moon landing happened, it did or it didn't, yes?
In my opinion, it did.
Right. Muhammad claimed to have a revelation from God. It happened or it didn't, yeah?
He claimed it, yes.
No. I didn't ask what he claimed. People claim the moon landing happened, yeah? He claimed it, yeah? Okay. The reality is he either did or he didn't, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you say he didn't, then there's three more variables. If he didn't, listen. If he didn't, then he lied about a revelation, or he was crazy thinking he had a revelation, or he was deceived by the devil imitating an angel pretending to give him a revelation. There's no other choice.
There is another choice.
Go on.
Well, the other choice for me is that I don't know.
No.
I don't know who the man landed on the moon. Doesn't change the fact man landed on the moon or not, does it? Go on.
Another choice could be he genuinely believes that he is a messenger